guys, welcome. I'm Lawless Grant if it's your first time here. And if you are a returning subscriber, shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming back. For all the love y'all show me, I appreciate it. So for today's video, you guys, Juvias Plays. You guys know they released the Rebels. I forgot what it was called for a second, but it's called the Rebels. And I picked up all four. I also picked up their Nubian eye pencil liner in the shade Cocoa. And I'm happy that I was finally able to get their eyeshadow primer. It's been sold out for some time, so I was able to order it. Now I actually ordered this separate from the Rebel collection and I haven't used it yet. So I'm excited because I get to use it with the Rebel collection today, so that's gonna work out. And I picked up three, but they're two different shades. I know this has been out for some time, but I'm really excited to try this. I haven't tried this yet, and it's a Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. So I love the Too Faced concealer, so I'm excited to try this 24-hour matte foundation, which I'm not gonna be wearing foundation for 24 hours. Does anyone wear foundation for 24 hours? I know I'm not going to. Like, I need my skin to breathe and relax. All right, so I'm trying to decide if I wanna do eyes first, if I wanna do foundation first, like, I don't even know. So I'm gonna choose one. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the foundation first, just so that I can have this set in my face, so I can start my time test with this. So about this foundation, I did pick up this foundation from Sephora. I got the shade Spiced Rum. I picked up the shade because I feel like this would match my complexion in the summer. Because in the summer, obviously when I'm out in the sun, my skin does get darker. So I'm hoping this is a good match. And just reading it, it says it's undetectable, super long wear foundation. So that is a huge claim, undetectable. So it says that the coverage is medium, the finish is matte. It has hyaluronic acid in the foundation, and it says medium to full buildable coverage. So I actually want to see if this coverage really is buildable. It says it doesn't clog pores, it's waterproof, oil-free, and transfer resistant. Now, those are a lot of claims, so we are gonna put this to the test, you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom y'all in. So my face is clean and freshly washed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set up with this Rare Beauty spray. I really like this spray because it's something that you can even use before applying your foundation. And by the way, I have combination skin, so anytime I have to apply my foundation, I always like to make sure my face is really moisturized. And I feel like that's a good trick, not even just if you have combination or oily skin, but just with any skin type. You wanna make sure your face is moisturized just so you have a really nice, good base to start off. So I let that sink in for a few minutes. Now I'm gonna go with my Makeup Revolution Pore Blur Primer. And I really like this primer. Oh my goodness, it's so affordable. And I love how it really just blurs everything. Y'all, I really like this primer. Like, I was shocked. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. It was something that I just picked up because I was like, you know what? I need to try more products from Makeup Revolution. And it was affordable. And you guys, this primer is nice. So here's the foundation up close, and it's supposed to be oil-free, oil-controlling, and transfer-resistant and long-wearing. And to get this foundation out, it does have a pump. So I'm just gonna start off with one pump, and let's see, well, I gotta get it out first, but let's see what this coverage looks like just with one pump. So we're gonna hope that this shade match works, because y'all, I only picked up one shade, and it says it has rosy undertones. Now remember, my undertones are warm golden. And so the shade that was more golden seemed like it was gonna be too light. So I don't know if this is gonna match, but let's just see what kind of coverage we get. All right, that's better. I needed something to hold my hair back. Let's continue. All right, so I don't know, you guys. What do you guys think so far? Again, this is just one pump. And I'm just gonna use a clean kabuki brush just to blend this out. Okay, so far it seems like the shade is okay. Interesting. And you guys, I can already tell that this foundation is mattifying just by the way it looks. Anytime I'm testing out a new foundation, I don't color correct, only because I wanna see what kind of coverage is this foundation giving me on its own. So I purposefully did not color correct at all. So just looking at the foundation, it's definitely blending out darker than what it looks like right here. Because at first it looks like it might be a little too light. It looks like it's even golden, but when you blend it out, it's definitely giving me those rosy undertones. All right, so I adjusted my camera a little bit, so I hope you guys can see better. This so far is how it looks like with just one pump blended out. Now, just looking at it, would I say it's medium coverage? I would say it's on the lighter end of medium. It is giving me some coverage, but I definitely know that I'm gonna need more than one pump. And I think that the shade match isn't bad. Like, I didn't swatch this color at all. I really just went off of a hunch, like, okay, maybe this might be my shade, but so far it looks good. All right, and this is that second pump, you guys. All right, so let's blend this out and see. I'm hoping that with me applying more, that it doesn't end up looking too red or warm on my face. I honestly prefer to apply my foundation with a brush, only because anytime I use a sponge, the sponge soaks up a lot of the product. So I feel like a lot of the times I'm just wasting product. So it's much easier for me to just use a brush. But this is with the second pump blended out. So I would say, yes, this is getting closer to full coverage. And of course, I am looking more warm and red. I don't know if that's pulling on camera, but you know what? It'll be able to balance out because the concealer that I'm going to use from Too Faced just has a really nice golden undertone to it. So I think that at the end of my look, everything's going to come together really nicely. All right, so far with the two pumps that I've applied, I feel like it's not like a matte foundation. I feel like it's more of like a soft matte, if that makes sense. Like, if I could compare it to, now obviously this isn't like how it actually wears, but just by application and how it looks and how like the mattness feels, I would not compare it to the Cover FX Power Play. This foundation, when you put it on and you blend it out, oh, you're dry, you're snatched. It's like matte. This isn't like that. I still feel like it has a really nice soft matte texture to it. So we're gonna see how this wears on. And I'm debating on if I wanna go ahead and add more to it. I don't know if I wanna add like half a pump more or something. I kind of just wanna see like, can I get more of a full coverage? I still don't feel like I'm at full coverage yet. So let me go ahead and just add some more. And what I'm adding isn't a complete pump. I would say maybe it's half a pump. Now, if you're looking for a foundation that is really full coverage, this is not it. Again, this is medium to full is what they claim. I would say I'm getting somewhat closer to a full coverage by adding this extra half a pump. But for my preference, if I'm looking for something that's really full coverage, I'll just start off with a foundation that's full coverage rather than starting off with something that's medium coverage and then adding more and more, only because I like to have less product, less foundation on my face, so I'd rather have something that's just more pigmented. I'm just gonna clean up my brows a bit. So obviously I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer. This concealer is so good and it's something that I think will always be a staple in my collection. The formula is good. I feel like it's really nice, easy to work with, beginner friendly, and it lasts long. So I'm definitely gonna be using this today, and the shade that I use to highlight is called Chestnut. I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I have been really liking this technique of using a brush to blend out my highlight. I've always used a beauty blender. Like, I've always loved to use a sponge, and now I'm using a brush. I just feel like the blend that I've been getting with this brush has just been so nice. And this is a Real Techniques brush, by the way, and it's their 402 brush. You guys, this came in a brush set and it's so affordable. I think that for the brush set with the sponge, I think was maybe less than 20 bucks. All right, so we're about to move into the eyeshadow palettes next, but first I wanted to talk about the eyeshadow primers that I picked up. So I picked up a total of 3, but I got 1 in the shade number or color 1, and then I got 2 in color 2. And obviously color number 1 is a really nice light color. Color number 2 is more tan. I didn't get color number 3 only because whenever I wear eyeshadow, I always like to use a lighter eyeshadow base color, only because I really want my colors to pop out and stand out more. but I would purchase color number 3 like if I just really wanted a nice natural toned down eyeshadow primer look. But you guys, I actually normally use concealer. Now it's only certain concealers that I will use as like my eyeshadow base, and Born This Face concealer is actually one. I said Born This Face. Did I say Born This Face? Born This Way Too Faced concealer is actually one of them. But I was really curious and I wanted to see how this one is gonna perform from Juvia's Place. So let's go ahead and swatch these out just so we can see. And I also wanna see what the consistency is. And it's coming out of the tube pretty easily. So color number 1 is really like an off-white, pale peach color. And then color number 2 is definitely more of like a light tan color, which is actually lighter than the concealer shade that I use as my eyeshadow primer. So I actually like that because I feel like it'll make my colors stand out even more. I see myself using color number 1, like let's say I had to cut my crease and I wanted like a really nice light bright color to show up, or even if I'm not cutting my crease and like I wanted like a nice yellow or white or like a light pink or I don't know, any light color to show up, this would definitely look good under it. So there are 4 different palettes in the Rebel collection. This first one that I'm really excited about is called Army, and look at these gorgeous greens. Then this next one is called the Mints. Next up, we've got Honey. And this last one is called the Grays. All right, so I just swatched all of the shades from these palettes. And on this arm, we've got Army that has all the greens. And then the natural tone orangey colors is called Honey. And then we've got the Mints and the Grays. So here's a nice close-up look of all of the shadows. I'm feeling really torn, y'all. I can't decide which palette I want to use between Army and Honey. Like, this is really nice natural. Like, I gravitate towards really nice natural looks, but I also love color at the same time. I don't know, but these greens, don't they look so good? You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Army because I really want to see how this blends out, because I feel like dark greens can be so hard sometimes to formulate because they can really end up patchy sometimes. So yeah, I'm gonna test this out. I feel like this is easy, simple to work with, but let me know if you guys want to see any of the other 3 palettes. Maybe I'll do that in another video, but for this video, we're gonna do Army today. And for the primer, I'm gonna go ahead and use color number 2. All right, so I don't know what kind of look I want to come up with today. I just know I'm gonna use the Army palette, but this shade right here, like this dark green shimmer shade, is like calling out to me. And you guys know sometimes I like to be different and unique and start off with a shimmer in my crease. I know most people will go for the mattes, and that's probably what I should do, but I'm not gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. And I'm just gonna start off by just putting that right in my crease. I'm not worried about blending. I'm just trying to lay this shade down. This green is so soft and pretty. Like, I really like the texture of it too. And I'm taking this flat brush just so that I can wing out my look a little bit. And I'm just creating that shape that I want. All right, so I'm gonna take my Morphe M504 brush and I'm just gonna blend out the edges of this shadow. And I'm just being really careful to blend this, only because since it is a shimmer shade, I don't want shimmer like all the way up through my brow. I mean, you can have that look if that's what you want, but that's not the look I'm going for. And then again, I don't even know what kind of look I'm going for. Don't judge. But yeah, I don't want this shadow blended all the way up to my brow, so I'm simply just gonna blend it out where it's at in its place, just very lightly. I know you're probably wondering like, okay, where are we going next with this look? I don't know, I'm doing it as I go. So I actually really like this shade. I think I'm gonna wanna put this shade just like kind of like all over my lid. And by the way, this shade is so pretty. It's like this really dark green, bronzy shade. It's really gorgeous. And I'm really just focusing this on the center of my lid. I'm gonna use another color right here in my outer V, but I just wanna get this color mainly in the center. Then the same MAC 224 brush that I used to lay down this color in my crease, I'm gonna use this same brush to actually pick up this really dark color. And I want this in my outer V. When I first looked at this shade, I was like, is this gray or black? Because it literally looks like it's gray or black. Like, it's so dark, but it's not. It's like a really dark mossy green color. I'm gonna go back in with my small flat brush, and this is my Morphe M152. And I wanna take this color and just stamp this in my outer V area. And I'm gonna follow that like linear shape that I have. So I'm just gonna lightly stamp this in. This is looking pretty so far. And I'm just gonna blend in these two shades together. And by the way, I'm not getting any fallout from these shadows. All right, so that dark green is blended out and I love the way it's looking so far. So what I want to do next is I actually want to take this like light green shimmer shade and I want to put this like on my inner corner area, and I'm just going to take a flat brush. I haven't wet my brush only because I want to see what this formula is like. And I'm just popping this right on my inner corner. All right, so next I actually want to go ahead and take Cocoa, which is the eye pencil. I want to see what this is going to look like because I'm going to line my waterline with this color. And I haven't actually tried out any of their eye pencils. You guys already know I'm a fan of their lip liners. And as far as this was sold out for a while. And I really want the black one. The black one is still sold out. So again, this is called Cocoa, but let me swatch this for you guys so you guys can see. Ooh, it's a nice dark brown color. I think I'm gonna go ahead and line my top lash line first. So for my lower lash line, I really want to take this green shade right here. I think it's the only color that I haven't used in the palette so far. So it's a matte, and I'm gonna just smoke this out on my lower lash line. All right, so I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush just to blend out the edges of this dark green shade, just so it blends in really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and I'll be back. All right, y'all, so lashes are done. And I need to do lips next, so I actually want to use Juvia's Place Nude Series, of course. So I'm gonna use Libra as my lipstick. I want to line my lips, so I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever pencil, and this is Limitless Brown. For lip gloss, I actually do want to wear a lip gloss with this look. So this is their lip gloss or glass gloss in the shade called It's Electric. I'm so glad I chose this lipstick. I love this peachy nude color. I feel like it ties into the color family with the green that I have on my eyes. Like, they complement each other well with my blush. It looks nice. And this lip gloss, y'all, it's electric. All right, so this is a finished look. What do you guys think? I like it. I love how everything ties in together. Now for the foundation, I'm really liking how this matte foundation pairs in with their concealer. I really just like the finish I'm getting. I feel like it's not like a really drying matte, but it's a real nice soft matte finish, and I am a fan of this finish. Like, it doesn't feel like overly dry. Like, my skin doesn't feel like it's just like thirsty. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel too dry. I like the finish that I'm getting. So moving on to the eyeshadow primer. I didn't have any difficulties blending out my eyeshadow with this, and it made the colors pop more, and it was good. Like, the purpose of an eyeshadow primer is really to help grip the shadow as well too. But you also want to make sure that your shadows are going to be really nice and blended. And it's perfect. Like, I haven't had any issues. I would like to see how my eyeshadow holds up with this primer. All right, so moving on to the Rebel Army palette. You guys, I really like this formula. It's really nice, it's easy. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned the price. These palettes are $10. Like, I feel like her palettes are so affordable. So I do plan on doing a wear test because it's hot outside. I got so many errands to run. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to wear this for, but we'll see how many hours. And right now it's 3:45. All right, so I'll come back and I'll check in with you guys later. All right, you guys, so the time right now, it's actually 10:45 on the dot, which is kind of ironic. I think I've literally had this foundation on since 3:45, or was it 4:45? No, I think it was 3:45. So that is 7 hours. So that's pretty good. And mind you, it is hot outside. It's summer over here in the DMV. And I had to like use a paper towel just to clean up like my forehead and my T-zone area just a little bit because it's so hot and humid outside. I honestly have to say that this foundation has held up really good. Now again, if we're going back to the claims of what this foundation says, it says it's oil-free, oil-controlling, waterproof, and transfer-resistant. So starting off with oil-free, yes, I would agree with that. Oil-controlling. Now I do produce a lot of oils in my T-zone. I haven't produced that many oils today, but I kind of did because I was outside, it was hot, it was humid. But I think that for this foundation to be oil controlling and for the type of humidity that I was in today, I think it did a pretty good job at helping to control my oils, especially in my T-zone area, you guys. Like I get so oily. I actually did not set this foundation with powder. One, I forgot. Two, I was in a rush because I had things to do. But let's see how much transfer I'm getting. So with that dab just now, that's what's on the paper towel. Let me test out my forehead. Barely anything on the paper towel at all. Transfer resistant means that it's not gonna transfer as much as a foundation that's not transfer resistant. Like, does that make sense? So it's not saying that, oh, your foundation will never transfer on anything at all. It's just saying that it's gonna resist the transfer, so it's not gonna easily be transferable, if that makes sense. It's not saying that it's like completely 100% transfer proof, no. So you guys, I actually really like this foundation. And again, I feel like this has been such a nice, comfortable, soft matte on my face. Now, as far as the foundation breaking apart, normally when that happens to me, it'll happen right around my smile lines and always like around my nose area. So right around my smile lines, I mean, really, it hasn't broken apart. I think around my nose, it has just a teeny bit, but it's fine. It's nothing that I couldn't fix easily, and it's not that noticeable. My cheeks do have a nice little sheen to them, but I did use a liquid blush. Yeah, so this really does look good. Again, my T-zone isn't that oily. I do have some development right here where there's a little bit of oil. I could just easily use a paper towel just to get some of that up. And there's a little bit of foundation on the paper towel. And yeah, just by me doing that, clears up those oils. And I could do the same thing on my nose. And I had a little bit more of that foundation come out right around my nose. But again, you guys, this is the foundation, the Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-hour long wearing foundation, which I will not be wearing for 24 hours long. But overall, you guys, I like this foundation so far. Now, I honestly like to wear foundations just a couple of times just to see how I truly feel about it. But just after me wearing it for 7 hours today, I do like this. And I can see myself wearing this on hot and humid days because today is so hot and so humid. And I feel like this foundation did a good job at holding up. So that is it for this video, you guys. Please let me know, did you guys pick this foundation up? I'm curious to know. I want to know. And if you did, do you like it? What do you think about it? How does it work for your skin? Again, I have combination oily skin and it worked for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support and I will see you guys in my next video. Oh wait, don't forget to follow me on Instagram @LawlessBrand_. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.